All right, listeners, ready to dive into some serious family drama.
Oh, yeah.
Today, we're tackling the 11,000-year blood feud between the Harkonnens and the Atreides.
From Frank Herbert's Dune universe.
Of course, from Dune.
11,000 years.
Yeah.
You think your family has issues?
Exactly.
Wow.
And we're going to untangle this epic rivalry by exploring this YouTube video titled Entire 11,000 Years, Harkonnen Atreides Rivalry Lore Explored Mega Dune video by the channel Marvelous Videos.
Great channel.
We'll uncover the roots of this conflict, the key players, and how it shaped the Dune universe.
Yeah, you know and love.
We all know and love.
The video pulls not just from the original Dune novels, but also the prequels, giving us a truly multi-generational view of this feud.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a story that starts not with some petty squabble, but with the Butlerian Jihad.
Okay, now,
Humanity's desperate war against thinking machines.
back up a second. For those of us who haven't memorized the Dune Encyclopedia,
Sure.
what exactly was the Butlerian Jihad?
Yeah. Well, imagine a galaxy dominated by a supercomputer called Omnius, controlling legions of cyborgs.
Oh, wow.
Some of these cyborgs, called C-Mechs, were even equipped with human brains.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was a fight for humanity's very survival.
So this is way beyond just like unplugging a rogue toaster.
Oh, yeah. This is full-on Terminator territory.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely. And it's out of this chaotic war that the Harkonnen Atreides feud is born.
So how did these two families get tangled up in this galaxy-wide war?
Well, on one side, you have figures like Serena Butler, whose family name becomes synonymous with the Jihad.
Okay.
On the other side, you have Vorian Atreides,
Okay.
an ancestor of the Atreides we meet in the Dune saga.
So both families are involved in the fight against the machines.
Right.
Where does the rivalry come in?
The turning point is the Battle of Corrin,
Okay.
the climactic showdown of the Butlerian Jihad. It's here that Vorian Atreides and Abelard Harkonnen,
Okay.
both leaders in the human resistance, have a major falling out.
A falling out that will echo for millennia.
Exactly.
What caused this rift between them?
It wasn't a disagreement over tactics, but a fundamental clash of values.
Okay.
During the battle, Omnius used captured humans as shields.
Wow.
Knowing it would make the humans hesitate to attack,
Right.
Abelard refused to sacrifice these innocent lives, even if it meant prolonging the war.
That sounds like a pretty ethical stance. Why would that cause such a rift?
Because Vorian saw it as cowardice.
Oh.
He believed that the ultimate goal, destroying Omnius, justified any sacrifice necessary. This difference in perspective, this labeling of Abelard as a coward, is what plants the seeds for the generations of hatred to come.
Wow. So a single moral dilemma in the heat of battle sparks a feud that lasts for thousands of years.
Yeah.
That's heavy stuff.
It is, and the consequences for the Harkonnens are severe.
Okay.
They're stripped of their rank and exiled to the desolate planet of Lankavale.
So after potentially saving millions of lives, Abelard is punished.
Seems a little unfair.
It does, but perceptions matter.
Okay.
Abelard's actions, though well-intentioned, were seen as jeopardizing the entire mission. This perceived injustice, this exile to a wasteland, is what festers into the Harkonnens' thirst for revenge.
I'm starting to see how exile could turn even a noble house bitter and ruthless.
Yeah.
What happened to the Harkonnens on Lankavale?
They clawed their way back to power,
Okay.
but through brutal exploitation.
Okay.
Specifically, they built their wealth on the harvesting of whale fur.
Whale fur.
Yeah.
Not exactly a cuddly industry.
Exactly, and that's the key insight here.
Okay.
This brutal industry foreshadows their approach to power in the Dune timeline.
Right.
Extracting wealth through force and control, foreshadowing their tyranny on Arrakis.
So even in their early history, we see hints of the Harkonnens we know and, well, not love.
Not love, no.
But wait, I thought the Harkonnens were connected to the Imperial family? How did that happen if they were exiled? You're right, this is where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
Early in the Butlerian Jihad,
Yeah.
Serena Butler was involved with a Harkonnen named Xavier.
Oh, wow.
This connection eventually led to the founding of House Corrino,
Okay.
the very same family that rules the Dune universe for thousands of years.
Okay, family trees just went full pretzel on me.
Right.
So the Emperor is basically a distant cousin of the Harkonnens.
Yeah.
Talk about awkward family reunions.
Absolutely. And this adds even more fuel to the fire of the Harkonnen Atreides feud.
Wow.
The Harkonnens see the Atreides as the reason for their fall from grace.
Right.
While the Atreides, well, they're just trying to survive against this family obsessed with revenge.
This is already sounding like the plot of a Shakespearean tragedy.
Yeah.
But the video mentions that the rivalry escalated over time. What were some of the key events that really poured gasoline on this fire?
Well, even after centuries, the bad blood was still boiling. The video mentions Vorian Atreides encountering Abulard's great-grandson, leading to a tragic duel that only deepened the animosity between the families.
Hold on, centuries?
Yeah.
Is Vorian Atreides some kind of immortal space vampire?
Right.
How's he still alive after all this time?
That's where the Dune universe gets a bit tricky.
Okay.
The timeline spans thousands of years, and certain individuals, especially those connected to the Bene Gesserit, and their genetic manipulations have remarkably long lifespans.
Okay.
Vorian Atreides is one of those lucky few.
Okay, so Vorian's still kicking around centuries later.
Yeah.
And runs into this Harkonnen descendant who's been raised on stories of his great-grandfather's humiliation. Did Vorian try to make amends?
Unfortunately, no.
Oh.
This Harkonnen named Griffin was determined to avenge his family's honor.
Okay.
He challenged Vorian to a duel.
Oh, no.
Which ended tragically with Griffin's death.
Another death, another layer of resentment added to the pile.
Yeah.
It seems like this feud is a runaway train at this point.
It is. And the casualties don't stop there.
Right.
The video also highlights Valia Harkonnen, a prominent figure in the Dune, the Sisterhood prequel, who becomes consumed with restoring her family's honor and exacting vengeance upon the Atreides.
So even after thousands of years, this rivalry is still burning strong.
It is.
But how does this ancient feud play into the events we see in the Dune movie? 10,000 years after the Butlerian Jihad.
That's a great question, and that's exactly where we're headed next.
Ooh.
Fast forward to the time of the movie, and the Atreides-Harkonnen feud is still the central conflict shaping the universe. We'll see how the Emperor himself uses this rivalry to further his own agenda.
Oh, intrigue.
Setting the stage for the epic showdown on Arrakis.
Okay, now things are getting really interesting.
Yeah.
I can't wait to unpack how this ancient rivalry plays into the fight for Arrakis and the spice.
Buckle up, because things are about to get spicy.
I love it.
So you're eager to see how this ancient feud explodes onto the scene in the Dune movie.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, let's talk about Arrakis.
Okay.
The most important planet in the Imperium.
Ah, yes. Arrakis, home to giant sandworms.
Of course.
Fiercely independent freemen.
Yes.
And, of course, the spice melange.
Yes.
The most valuable substance in the universe.
Exactly.
You know? Gotta love that spice.
Control of Arrakis means control of the spice.
Right.
And the spice, as we know, must flow.
It must flow.
And this is where the Harkonnens, after centuries of scheming, finally get their chance to strike at the Atreides.
Okay, but the Harkonnens couldn't just waltz in and take over.
Right.
Arrakis was under Imperial control, right?
Yeah.
How do they manage to get their hands on this prize?
That's where the Emperor comes in.
Oh.
Shadon IV, the reigning Emperor, sees House Atreides as a potential threat to his power.
Okay.
They're gaining influence. They're popular with the people.
Yeah.
And frankly, he's a little jealous of their charisma.
So he decides to play puppet master.
Yeah.
And pit these two families against each other, using the Harkonnens' thirst for revenge to get rid of a rival.
Right.
Pretty devious.
It is. The Emperor grants the Harkonnens control of Arrakis, knowing full well they'll use this opportunity to crush House Atreides.
Right.
And of course, the Harkonnens jump at the chance.
Yeah.
They've been waiting for this moment for millennia.
But wait, I thought the Atreides were known for their military prowess. Duke Leto, Paul's father, surely knew this was a trap.
Yeah.
Right.
He suspected something was amiss.
Okay.
But he also saw it as an opportunity.
Okay.
He believed that by winning over the Fremen, the native people of Arrakis, he could build a power base strong enough to challenge the Emperor.
A bold move, especially considering the Fremen are legendary warriors.
Oh, yeah.
Who have adapted to the harsh desert environment.
Yeah.
But we know how this story ends.
Right.
The Harkonnens attack.
Yeah.
Duke Leto is killed. And Paul and Jessica are forced to flee into the desert.
Yeah.
Talk about a family vacation gone wrong.
You know, it's fascinating how this ancient feud plays out on a personal level.
Right.
We see the Harkonnens' cruelty on full display, their thirst for revenge driving them to commit atrocities.
And we see Paul Atreides, a young man thrust into leadership,
Right.
grappling with his destiny.
Yeah.
He's forced to confront not only the Harkonnens, but also the weight of this ancient rivalry.
Exactly. He becomes a focal point of this conflict,
Right.
inheriting the burden of vengeance, but also the potential to break the cycle of violence.
You know, for all the talk of spaceships and sandworms, it really is the human drama that keeps us hooked on Dune, isn't it?
Absolutely. But speaking of intrigue,
Okay.
there's another player in this game.
Oh.
One that operates from the shadows,
Okay.
subtly influencing events for millennia. The Bene Gesserit.
Ah, the Bene Gesserit.
Yes.
I've been waiting for this.
Okay.
They're like the ultimate puppet masters.
Yeah. Right.
Right. With their mind control, their breeding programs, their 1,000-year plans. It makes you wonder if anything happens in the Dune universe without their say-so.
Well, let's not jump to conclusions.
Right.
They certainly have a long history of meddling in the affairs of both the Atreides and the Harkonnens.
Right.
And their motives,
Yeah.
while often shrouded in secrecy,
Sure.
are far more complex than simple power grabs.
Okay, I'm all ears.
All right.
Tell me, how did the Bene Gesserit influence the events leading up to the Dune movie? And more importantly, what was their end game? All right, let's unravel the mystery wrapped in an enigma that is the Bene Gesserit.
Okay.
You're saying they're not just power-hungry manipulators.
Their motives run deeper than that.
Okay.
Their ultimate goal is actually to guide humanity towards a future where it can survive the unknown threats lurking in the vastness of space.
So they're playing the long game.
Yeah, really long.
Really long.
Yeah.
But how do the Atreides and Harkonnens fit into this grand scheme?
Both families carry key bloodlines vital to the Bene Gesserit breeding program.
Oh.
The Atreides are known for their nobility, leadership, and a genetic predisposition towards prescience.
Wait, prescience, you mean like seeing the future?
Exactly. And the Harkonnens, believe it or not, also possess traits the Bene Gesserit deem valuable.
Okay.
Strength, cunning, a certain ruthlessness they believe is necessary for survival
Right.
in a harsh universe.
So it's like they're trying to combine the best and maybe the worst of both families,
That's correct.
creating like a hybrid super being.
That's the idea.
Wow.
They were hoping to engineer a being called the Kwisatz Haderach, someone with extraordinary abilities who could guide humanity to a brighter future.
Ambitious, to say the least.
Yeah.
And their manipulations to achieve this goal.
Yeah.
Are we talking full-on mind control or more subtle nudges?
They prefer a subtler approach.
Okay.
They exploit existing rivalries, whisper suggestions, plant ideas, all to nudge events in their desired direction.
Okay.
Think less puppet master, more gardener.
A gardener cultivating a very specific kind of human flower. It's almost impossible to tell where their influence begins and ends.
That's what makes them so fascinating.
Right.
But there are specific examples where their involvement directly impacts the Atreides and Harkonnens.
Oh, well,
Remember Jessica?
Paul's mother.
Yeah, she's a Bene Gesserit.
Right.
And she defied their orders by giving birth to Paul instead of the daughter they'd planned for.
Defying the Bene Gesserit, that takes guts. But why were they so insistent on a daughter?
Their breeding program relied on pairing Jessica's daughter with a Harkonnen heir, ultimately producing the Kwisatz Haderach. It was all very carefully calculated.
So Jessica throws a wrench in the works by having Paul.
Right.
Did they try to, correct her mistake?
They disapproved, of course.
Okay.
But they also recognized Paul's potential.
Okay.
He wasn't the Kwisatz Haderach they'd envisioned, but he still possessed unique abilities.
So they adapted.
Yeah.
They're not just rigid schemers.
Right.
They're playing a complex game with a lot of moving pieces.
Precisely.
Okay.
And they recognized Paul as a valuable asset, even if he wasn't part of the original plan.
But how could they influence him? He wasn't raised in their fold.
His mother was his teacher.
Right.
She trained him in the Bene Gesserit ways.
Oh.
The weirding way, the voice, the ability to control mind and body skills that would be crucial to his rise.
So they shaved him indirectly through his mother.
Yeah.
But what about their influence on the Harkonnens? They don't seem like the type to play along with someone else's schemes.
You're right. The Harkonnens are not easily manipulated.
Oh.
But the video suggests that the Bene Gesserit may have played a role in their eventual downfall.
Yeah.
Remember, they were the ones who initially paired Jessica with a Harkonnen,
Right.
leading to her relationship with Baron Vladimir Harkonnen and the birth of Alia.
Wait, Elia, Paul's sister.
Yes.
She's a Harkonnen.
Yes. Alia is a product of the Bene Gesserit breeding program,
Wow.
though an unintended one.
Right.
And her existence, combined with the Baron's hatred for the sisterhood stemming from his past with Jessica's mother,
Right.
creates a tangled web that ultimately contributes to the Harkonnens' demise.
Wow. So the Bene Gesserit may have inadvertently engineered the Harkonnens' downfall by meddling in their bloodline.
It's possible.
Talk about unintended consequences.
It is a perfect example of how even the best laid plans can go awry.
Right.
And it's this ambiguity that makes the Bene Gesserit so captivating. Did they orchestrate the Harkonnens' fall?
Yeah.
Or were they simply opportunistic, using the situation to their advantage?
Right.
It's a question that adds even more depth to this already fascinating saga.
It's like they're always playing a game of multi-dimensional chess, thinking centuries ahead.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder if anyone in Dune is truly free from their influence.
That's one of the most intriguing aspects of the Dune universe, right?
And it's this complexity that makes the Harkonnen and Atreides rivalry more than just a simple feud. It's a microcosm of the forces at play in this universe.
Yeah.
Ambition, betrayal, revenge, and the struggle for power.
Right.
Where even small actions can have galaxy-spanning consequences.
So what does this all mean for us sitting here listening to you unpack this epic saga?
Yeah.
Why should we care about a feud that happened thousands of years ago in a fictional universe?
Because at its heart, the Harkonnen and Atreides story is about the human condition.
Okay.
It's about choices, consequences, the enduring power of love and hate.
Right.
It makes us think about morality, loyalty, nature of power.
Yeah.
Big questions that are relevant no matter what galaxy you call home.
You've taken a sci-fi epic and given it a philosophical spin.
Wow.
But you're right. Even with all the spaceships and sandworms, it's the human drama that draws us in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the enduring popularity of Dune speaks to the power of that drama.
It's a story that continues to fascinate and challenge us, even decades after it was first told.
Well said. I think we've successfully navigated the treacherous waters of the Harkonnen Atreides blood feud.
Yeah, I think so.
Thanks to the Marvelous Videos YouTube channel, we've traced this rivalry from its explosive origins in the Butlerian Jihad to its dramatic climax on Arrakis.
And if this deep dive has sparked your curiosity, I encourage you to explore the source material for yourself.
Absolutely.
Frank Herbert's Dune novels and the prequels by Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson are rich with detail and intrigue.
There's a whole universe waiting to be discovered out there.
There is.
And speaking of unexplored territory, we've only scratched the surface of the Bene Gesserit.
Yeah.
They deserve a deep dive all their own.
Next time, we'll delve into the world of the Bene Gesserit.
Oh.
Their origins, their motivations, and how they became the most powerful force in the Dune universe.
Until then, stay curious, listeners.
Yes.
And remember, the spice must flow.